Welcome, my lovely Libras, to your winter 2024 year in review. Well, actually, it's winter in review. Um, this is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, by the way. If this is like, let's say it's your Sun, definitely check out your Moon and your Rising because you want to be as ready, I guess, for 2024 as possible. Feel like it's going to be a really good year, especially for making money, starting businesses, anything related to that. I feel like this is the year. So, what I did is I wrote down a few things that I just want to go over real quick. Many of you probably have already heard just from other readings, but I want you to understand that we're moving into universal year 8 for 2024, moving out of the year 7. So, what does 8 mean? Well, it's associated with wealth, power, influence, ambition, capability, and ultimately understanding how strong you are from all that energy. It's going to be a time, it may be a time, but I have a feeling it's going to be a time of huge transformations. But really, you want to embrace these transformations. Don't be afraid of them. Don't deny them. I mean, you do whatever you want. It's your life. But I feel like these transformations are truly meant for us to embrace and to enhance our life. This is also the year as you start to see the fruits of your labor, share the love, share the wealth, and the word wealth. I keep getting that. So I have a feeling like those of us who've been suffering financially, maybe this will be the year everything turns around. This is going to be a year where there are going to be rises and falls. But again, when you're in that energy where it feels like a fall, there's a lesson there. And I know this. I know my guides have told me that there's a lesson within the fall. Just understand what it is. So, boom, you can rise very quickly. Don't get stuck. You know what I mean? Like, if, let's say that you're creating something and then, like, you just, like, maybe you're a writer and you just have writer's block. Don't give up. Something will inspire you. Your guides will inspire you some way, somehow. I just know that. Um, 8 is a number of infinity. It's also about new beginnings. Think about the sun. I think of, Leo, and I think of the ruler, the sun. The sun will rise, right? Sun will rise again. And just knowing that this is a year of new beginnings. Now, it doesn't have to mean like my whole life is changing, but maybe certain elements that I do feel eventually will change your life, especially if it's relating to, let's just say, your material house or your creativity. I feel like as you do better, um, or another way of putting that, as you become more successful, I feel like other avenues in your life just naturally open up. It's not really a love that, or a life, not really a year that speaks greatly about love. But I have a feeling some of you are going to meet people through your creative houses or through your financial houses in some way. So, anyway, um, this year is really about capitalizing also on the last 7 years. What have you been doing in the last 7 years? What goals have you had that maybe you haven't manifested yet? This is a year to do it. I'm telling you, trust within yourself. And if you're not sure, like, how can I take the best advantage of this 8? Ask your guides and then sit with a quiet mind. Ask for signs. I see signs all the time when I'm watching TV. Like, I'll do a reading, and then I swear to God, like a song that just comes to me during a reading, all of a sudden will play on TV. And to me, it's just, it's validation. So, Ask for signs, you shall receive them. I'm telling you. This is a year to really learn how to stand on our own 2 feet, so that you can feel your own power. And last but not least, I wrote down get comfortable with success. I feel like that should be everyone's motto. Not that life is just about success, it's not just about money. But listen, we need money to live. And some people do have blocks, like money blocks. And if you feel you're someone like that, then I would definitely research like how can, like I'm sure there's help out there how to unblock like your chakras, certain areas, I feel like there's a way. So anyway, again, my beautiful Libras, I want to give a shout out real quick to my nephew Sean, who is right on the cusp of Virgo and Libra. He is September 24th. My beautiful granddaughter, who I cannot believe has started college, Lily, she is October 14th. And then Sean's mom, Tracy, who I feel is one of our definitely biggest guides within our Libra readings. Her birthday was October 15th. She has crossed over. And I was lucky enough to be there. It's interesting because I think about the people, the family and what have you who've crossed over, and for some reason, like I found myself being the very last person to be with them. Not everyone, but, and I find that as a blessing. So, anyways, let's stop talking. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. Some of you are just intuitively guided, and that's fine. You may have Libra somewhere in your chart. You don't even know it, but it doesn't even matter. Maybe your guides guided you here. So just trust within that. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. I really don't like to do a lot of talking before a reading, but I feel it's important that you know all this, especially with the Life Path 8 or Life Path, Universal Year 8. Also, real quick while I'm shuffling, know what your life path number is, but also know what your personal year number is. And a lot of people have been asking me, how do I figure that out? It's really simple. Take the day you were born, add it to the month you were born, and then add that to the 8 universal year. So an 8. So the day you were born. So like I was born on the 13th, and then I was born in September, so that's a 9. And then the 8, so I take that 9 plus the 13, which would actually be a 4. Put that together brings me back to a 13, right? Bring that to a single digit, which would be a 4. Add that to the 8. So you're bringing your numbers down to a single digit and then add it to the 8, which puts me in a universal year 3. I hope that made sense. I feel like I probably made it more confusing. It's really quite simple. Your birthday, your birth month, added to the 8. Do not add your year in. For your life path, you would do that, but you wouldn't add the personal year in. Or you wouldn't add in the universal year. All right. So we're going to start with Mother Mary. And then what we're going to do is use 3 different decks for each month. So I'm going to use the Universal Tarot for the month of January. I'm going to use the Psychic Tarot for February. And I'm going to use the Tarot Dreams for March. And the Gilded Tarot for any clarifying. Sometimes we don't need to even clarify, but if we do, it'll be there. And I am using the same decks for the majority of the readings because I am looking for synchronicities between the signs. All right, Libra. Wow, you got 4, but we're going to take them. Giving and receiving. Perfect energy for this year. Because I do feel like as we receive, if we receive more than we need, then it only feels right then to give. But let's see what Mother Mary says. I balance being generous and receptive because both are equally important. I balance being generous and receptive because both are equally important. Honesty. Honesty. I am in touch with my true feelings regarding this situation. So just being completely honest with yourself in any elements of your life. Health. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. Health. Now, when our prayers are being answered, sometimes they're different than what we ask for, but I always feel like they're better. And last but not least, one of my favorite um, energies, because I always feel this in our readings, watched over. I allow myself to feel safe and enjoy my life, knowing that heaven is watching over me and my loved ones. Watched over. This is your spiritual team, and you do have a spiritual team. What I mean by that is not only do you have spirit guides who are always sending you messages, signs, epiphanies, what have you, but you also have your angels. Now, angels need to be called in. You know what I mean? Calling all you angels. But they do. They need to be called in. Um, but you guys are just always there, sending signs, like sending you breadcrumbs, trying to help you along the journey. All right, let's go ahead and I was going to say begin, but I do feel like we begin as soon as I hit start. All right, so we're using the Universal Tarot, and we're looking at January. January. Happy New Year's. May it be a year that you remember for all the best reasons in the world. All right, Libra, you ready? Let's begin. All right, we have the Page of Wands. It's my risk taker. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. Interesting. Interesting because I feel, first of all, I feel like this Page of Wands, I always call him my risk taker. I call him my fool because this is someone who is willing to take chances. And you are all people in a reading unless you feel differently or unless I feel differently, but I do feel this is you. And I feel like what it's talking about is right off the bat, for January, you're about to take a chance on something. Now, it feels right. It's coming through the Ace of Swords, so it is truth, right? We have honesty over here. It can certainly be some type of communication. This communication seems to start you on a new path because as soon as we receive the Ace of Swords, then we receive the Two of Wands. And it makes sense with the Page of Wands here. So it may talk about like you are about to walk down the path of the wands. So inspiration, action, passion. We have the Death card of Scorpio. Um, Interesting. A Death card is mirroring this page. So I feel like something is coming to an end, but it is so there can be a new beginning. This is about transformation. We already talked about, that there are going to be transformations. Well, here we go. So something new is opening up for you. Something old is closing, but that would only make sense. We have the Strength card, Leo. It's about overcoming. Overcoming the demons within ourselves. Sometimes it's the things that we tell ourselves that we can't, I won't, and it's turning that all around. This can certainly talk about, things like of temptation. things that pull you into, like, let's just say the darker type energy. And really what you're doing in the strength card is you're learning to balance, right? You're learning to overcome what you have to overcome, but you're balancing the light and the dark. It is an 8, by the way. So I feel like if there's anything that's leaving, it would be something that feels like it kind of held you back, held you down, like maybe something you felt like, I don't know if I can overcome this, but you can. Let's keep going. We have the Queen of Cups, can be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. We do have Scorpio right here. Doesn't have to be. Look at this, another Queen, Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. The Magician, beautiful. So the Magician coming under that Death card, right? Death card, it speaks of closing doors, closing old doors. The doors that just really have no use for you in this next journey. I love the Magician after that because remember in the Death card, when it asks you to close a door, it's because another door wants to open. You know, a lot of people fear the Death card, but truth be told, like the Death card is, it's like that's when you really start living. So I feel like you overcame something and or you found control within something. And I feel like someone's going to reach out and it may be an opportunity. Um it's interesting because I feel like this Queen of Cups, she may be the one who reaches out. But I feel like ultimately the Queen of Pentacles, I feel like is you. And I'm saying that because I feel like this is talking a little bit about what some of you are doing or maybe will be doing, especially the Magician right there, right? The Manifestor, and he's got the number 8 right above his head. There it is. Oh, there it is. I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles under this Two of Wands is talking about your abilities and what you can do with them. You know, if we think of the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Pentacles, she's someone who really picks up the details that other people miss. Like, I feel like she'd be a great attorney because you put a contract in front of her, she will find what's wrong with it. What's not suiting you. But I also feel this is an energy because the Queen of Cups is right beside her. I feel like it's a very mellow type energy. Some of you are helping others to overcome something that you yourself have overcome. And listen, I feel like that's how God uses us. All right, let's keep going. Well, there you go. So that's what we would be overcoming, the 5 of Swords. That's toxic energy. 5 is about change. And it's showing me that you're willing to change it. Or chances are you already have. Coming in as Strength card, I feel like I do have to look within. Doesn't mean the toxicity can't lie around me, but it also seems to lie within me because it's coming under the Strength card. Now, because it's coming under the Strength card, I feel like as you make the changes that this 5 asks for, I feel like not only you overcoming, but you are starting like a new journey. And listen, maybe there's just some people who don't belong on the next part of this journey. Whoever and whatever has felt toxic to you. And I feel like you already know. I feel like this is the time that you are letting it be, letting it go. Four Swords healing, healing of that toxicity. And then the five and the four and nine, so reflecting upon it, understanding it. Well, why do I want to understand it? Because I don't want to repeat it. So I need to understand it. I need to know what brought it on, all that. I feel like there's this loving energy that is helping to heal you. It's interesting because all of a sudden I'm picking up this Queen of Cups like a spirit guide. And I'm sure it's not everyone, but I do feel that. I feel like she is, it's almost like she's here to mellow the energy. There's our Six of Pentacles, which Mother Mary brought out in giving and receiving. So we're already seeing a couple cards that Mother Mary brought out. Here's what I feel like in the Six of Pentacles. I feel like in the Six of Pentacles, first of all, there's a couple things. I feel like this is the energy of helping the underdog, helping those who are less fortunate, or helping those who are going through something that you yourself have gone through. I feel like the Six of Pentacles can talk about giving someone a hand up. But the one thing I do have to know is, who I'm giving to, is it enhancing their life or are they abusing it? And that may be some of the toxicity within the Five of Swords. So, this is about an equal give intake. It's the fine art of giving and receiving. And it should be of equal terms. Now, I say that, but I feel some of you, like helping, like, it's like I want to help people. I want to help give a hand up or help people, like, overcome difficult situations. So I feel like you're being put in a place where you are going to help. You are going to help others. And I feel like it's going to feel very natural to you. Now, when I say help others, it can mean a million different things, right? It doesn't have to mean like someone is completely down and out. But I still think your wisdom and what you've learned and what you've let go of and what you now understand makes you the perfect person to now help others. Well, hello, Empress. Beautiful, creative. You know, this is someone who, and this is you. And I feel like, listen, if this is not, I feel like this energy is naturally with us. Feel it's a certain vibration and that we can reach that vibration. So the Empress talks about staying loving and nurturing, but, not being anybody's fool at the same time. The Empress has been there, done that. So good luck if anybody comes in and wants to pull the wool over her eyes. It's just not going to happen. She's very nurturing. And it makes sense coming next to, excuse me, the Six of Cups. By the way, 3, 4, 5, 6. Um, this is also someone who receives a lot of epiphanies and receives these epiphanies because divine knows that you'll take these epiphanies and you'll give birth to them, whatever they may be. And I'm sure they're different for different people, but it does recognize the fact of this universal year 8 and receiving epiphanies to help guide you. also the mother figure. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you, I don't know why I'm saying surprised. I do feel like for some of you, like your mother is, your a mother figure is a very important guide for you because I feel like, like my sister, my big sister, this is the type of energy I feel with her. The Empress is mirroring that Five of Swords, so there was a lot to learn from that. And I feel like as I overcome that toxicity, man, I just feel like I change. My life changes. Don't forget we have healing here. So wherever and whoever that toxicity is, even if it's you, and I don't mean that in a, you know what I mean, like, if there's something you needed to overcome, this is the ability to do, but this is the healing over it. So if you're healing over it, that may be another reason why heal and then close that door and start this next journey. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Well, hello, Ace of Wands. This is about action. It's go time. Interesting, this Page of Wands looking right back at this Ace of Wands. Like, give it to me, and I will make the most out of it. Libra, I feel like this is a month where you're truly being guided. I feel like, I'm doing these readings a little early because, and I know why. I feel like for some, it's to help you to eliminate what needs to be eliminated so that you can start the new year fresh and clean, if that makes sense. Um, I don't feel like anything of toxicity should follow you because I feel like you're having, I feel like the universe is giving you the opportunity to really be honest, right? Be honest with yourself and then know that you can overcome whatever it is that you need to overcome and whoever you need to overcome because the Empress will certainly overcome. We have the Six of Wands underneath that, the energy of being victorious, the energy of taking a platform and other people paying attention to you, seeking the information that you're speaking of. The person in the Six of Wands, they have this platform because of the actions that they have taken. Not just like someone just speaking words. Listen, I've been in your shoes, I've walked your shoes. I know the way. And then that Ace of Wands. So your own wisdom. And listen, I feel like January may find you finding a platform, maybe a new platform, maybe an extension of a platform you already have. I love the Magician right above the Empress also because that is powerful. you know, this Empress again receiving epiphanies. You know why? Why does the Empress receive all these epiphanies? Because divine trust her to give birth to them. That means that they're important. And you are the Empress. For some of you, yes, this is a mother figure, but you're also the Empress here too. I love that she has the Magician right above her and right beside her, the Six of Pentacles, which again is a very compassionate type energy. Well, that explains the Empress. But she is nobody's fool, and she's someone who really has learned to trust her energy. She's coming at the end of the reading. And maybe it just means like as we start to travel this new um path, ultimately not only are we being guided, but we're being given the signs to really create something. I just have a feeling it's going to be quite amazing. All right. Is there anything else I want to look at? I don't think so. I don't even think I need to clarify this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pick them up. This is January. By the way, time is fluid. And that's another reason why again, I'm doing them early. So if there's anything you feel like I don't want to bring on in my new year, this is giving you the opportunity to see it, be honest with yourself, and then you make the decisions, right? Because you do have free will. All right, let's bring in the psychic tarot, and we're looking at February. By the way, I shuffled these for quite a while before we even began the reading, which I always do. I just like to give them a shuffle or two with you here. Okay. February. So I feel like January is starting us on a new path. I feel like some type of communication is going to come in. It may be some type of an offer. I feel like it's coming in a very compassionate type way. Some of you, your vibration is just lifting, and as your vibration lifts, your life changes, right? Opportunities come to you that maybe you never thought would, but lo and behold, they do. So let's go into February now. We have wisdom. This is the Hierophant. Card of Taurus is a 5. So it just wants you to look at your belief system, your faith, trust. You keep trust and hope alive. Interesting. 2 5s back to back. Obstacles and challenges, but the Hierophant next to these obstacles and challenges. That takes a little bit of the sting or the fear away. Hello, lovers. Called Harmony in this deck, but it's the Lovers card of Gemini. Meaning of the card is ahead of a hard decision. Bring these up a little bit. The Light. Interesting, we got 2 Leo cards in the exact same position, but this is the Sun. It's interesting because the Sun, again, is like a brand new day. This could be talking about your love life. And maybe there were some challenges between these two over here. And I feel like simply what it's saying, if I go back to my faith, then we can overcome these challenges. The light, it illuminates everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But it's not about that. It's really, you know, I feel like it may be a new beginning, a new start. Rejoice in celebration. 3 cups. Transformation. Death card. Card Scorpio. There's my children right there. Scorpio and Leo. So transformation coming under these lovers. I'm not real worried about them though, because I feel like there were some obstacles that were put in their way. And maybe that's just the way it was meant to be. Like they were meant to overcome these obstacles. I feel like, how can I overcome these obstacles? I feel it lies within my faith, my belief system. I do feel like these lovers do overcome and maybe begin again. Firm foundation. Well, that's the way to begin again. If this is a relationship that once was, it's showing, it's showing the love. It's showing the potential. It's showing all of that, but it's also showing that there are obstacles, there are challenges. And listen, for some, remember we saw the strength card earlier. It could be drinking, like I got to just keep an eye on my drinking type thing. But I feel like these two are having a transformation. And again, it's mirrored by the sun. So I have no fear here because remember, anything done in the dark will come to the light. And we have so much light right here. So I feel like as these two either work out their issues or come back together, I feel like the question, or not the question, what we have to say to ourselves is we need to think about our foundation and we need to begin strong, right? I feel like these two are committing to each other, but they may have committed to each other before. Again, life has thrown some obstacles in front of them. Eight of Swords. Well, there's one of your obstacles right there. That's a self-created prison. This could be the energy of, I felt like I was the giver and someone else was the taker. It didn't feel equal. So I shut down my emotions. Like I was thinking, maybe someone ghosted me, but I have to be honest, like, would I even want that back if someone could do that to me? Now listen, communication may have stopped, but I don't feel like the love would have stopped. But listen, it's more than just love that we need to really have a successful relationship, right? We have to think of each other. We can't run the minute that a challenge is put in front of us, right? These two had to learn to work together to overcome any transformations and then maybe even celebrate each other and what we've overcome. What am I holding? Trapped in fear. It's an 8. Just want to throw that out there. Look at this, material and spiritual prosperity. Hello. Material and spiritual prosperity. And it is being mirrored by another 6, which is the Lovers. I get this feeling that someone, or maybe both, maybe we weren't thinking about like the finances, you know, um, we weren't thinking about, it's almost like we fell in love, we moved in together, and then bills started to come in, right? And then it's like, all right, who's going to pay what, and this and that. I feel like it wasn't thought out. But I feel like this is about another chance. So I do feel like it wasn't like, there was something within here, within these lovers. It doesn't feel like it was completely thought out. But I feel like the universe is saying, and listen, I feel like that was what was. And I feel like now, hopefully, both have that understanding. Now, the only thing I fear is this fear. It's the self-created prison. Can I break free from that? The sun is here. The sun can certainly help that. Your faith is here, and that's what you want to trust in. Listen, as it relates to these lovers, let's say I'm not sure if I should take this person back, or maybe they're saying that about you, or maybe you're both trying to figure it out. I feel like if we think about our foundation, if we look at the obstacles and together we come up with these solutions, I feel like success. This could also be the energy of working together, creating together. I feel like these two have gone through it. Let's just say have gone through it, and not just together. I feel like life. I feel like they've dealt with some hard situations individually. Um, but ultimately, I feel like now they've matured. Now they have much more understanding. These fives, again, speak of change. Um, but you want to know what it wants you to change and why. Well, this eight of swords being mirrored by the five, being mirrored by these obstacles and challenges. Well, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Well, hello, memories of love. I mean, another six. Tie that right back to the lovers. So when I think of this couple now, I think, yes, there were hard times, but I also think, yes, there were good times. I mean, ultimately, I feel like these two people, or and I'm sure it's many people, but as I just read, let's just say these two people, I feel like, first of all, I feel like there was probably a split. And I feel like that split is where I really started to realize that I miss this person, that I miss this person. And I feel the same for them. This is not a one sided street. This is two, this is both. Because it won't work unless both are ready. Partnerships and alliances. I felt that. I felt for some of you, not only you falling in love or recommitting to love, I feel like there's also an opportunity where for some of you, you're going to be working together. You're going to be creating together. And I find that beautiful. You're going to be taking your wisdom, your understanding, and listen, maybe you're even helping other couples. But this reading, I do want to use the clarifiers because I want to look at the Eight of Swords because I would like to eliminate that. Page of Cups, inner child. Someone's inner child feels injured. And ask your angels to help you with that. Help heal my inner child. Don't forget we had the Four of Swords. So healing is available to you. And time is fluid also. I'm putting January, February, March, but time is fluid. All right, let's give them a cut. And the first thing I'm going to look at is the Eight of Swords. Let's just get it over with and then get it out of here. So, Eight of Swords, self created prison. Afraid to move forward. I'm afraid to move. We have the Knight of Wands. Interesting that it's shown in reverse though. Passion. Rush of passion. Hmm. Might have died off a little. Might have died off a little. Other things got in the way. Look at that, the Eight of Swords again. Five of Wands, and then the Nine of Swords. Okay. This tells me that at one time, these lovers probably fought. Could have been a lot of ego. Now, listen, I feel like there's a lot of passion, but that passion in reverse can be anger, can be yelling, screaming. Remember, we saw that Ace of Swords, choosing how I'm going to communicate. This eight of Swords goes into the Nine of Swords. It talks about unnecessary worry. Why? Well, because I feel like if we are willing to look at these fives, then we have a very, very good chance here of, I don't know, I feel like spending the rest of your lives together. Sometimes the passion dies out, yes. Sometimes we can get in our heads. The Five of Wands is a lot of fighting. It's a lot of ego type energy. And it's the type of energy where no one wants to back down. But it's a five. Someone's got to back down. It's almost like, we had this horrible argument and someone left. And I feel like, it's interesting because, like I think of Sam and I, and, there's times that we can get in an argument where, because we're both Virgos, where we can really use our words as weapons. And I know that. I have learned that. I've learned that about myself. But I also recognize it with other people. And, but there's so much passion. You know what I mean? So I feel like, there's always going to be that polar opposite. Maybe both have been in this, both have created this prison for themselves. And I do feel like, if we want to come back together, then we just have to understand that. It's almost like I want to say we got to fight fair. I feel like the love is there. And again, memories of love. Who? Well, the lovers. The sun wants to illuminate. The death card wants to give you the transformation that this team needs. And then I feel like ultimately, not only coming back together, but then maybe even creating together. You know, if I don't move out of this Eight of Swords, none of that's going to happen. Because this is me saying no. No to the universe. Not going to happen. Never going to happen. Fine. And for some of you, that's the way you want it. And that's fine. That is your choice. But for some of you, because I feel like, again, I feel like these two, it's almost like they know they belong together, or they know that they could really fulfill each other. But yes, the ego gets in the way. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind, but I want to ask a question. So, will they break free from these self-created prisons? Page of Pentacles, and then the Death card. Well, that's good, because to me that means yes, That answers my question. Can these two lovers, if maybe both have each created or self-created prison, will they free themselves? Will they, that was my question. Will they free themselves? So first, the Page of Pentacles. Well, first I got to understand it. Remember, this is a path of knowledge. Some of you, this is a soulmate or a twin flame, and the challenges are just a little bit more, but they're worth it. So I got to learn. I got to know. I got to understand. I got to be honest with myself. And then I got to put that to bed. And I got to allow this transformation to happen. So I can't really guarantee you, right? Because again, this Eight of Swords is free will energy. But that Nine of Swords, even though it's a lot of worry, it can be sleepless nights, all that. The message of the card is unnecessary worry. So I feel like if these fives can be dealt with, understood, and learned from, I feel like this couple, the sky is the limit. I just feel like the passion is so strong. But sometimes when, that passion can turn the other way. That's all I'm saying. Like sometimes that passion can turn into fights. Like Sam, he's Italian. I'm Irish, and both have tempers. Now, both of us learn to control them much more. We're older. But, you know, it's definitely a learning lesson. Okay. So yes, the answer is yes. And I'm going to take that as a yes. Um, I want to look at, I'm going to look at let's look at the first line. So we have wisdom, which is the Hierophant. It's your belief system. It's your trust. Your trust in God. Your trust within yourself. Your trust within your spiritual team. It's your faith. Keeping your faith alive. It's your hope. And then obstacles and challenges. That's life. There's always going to be some type of obstacle. I don't want to say always, but, eventually there's going to be another obstacle or another challenge. If we can look at these challenges as something that is meant to only make us better, not worse, then we've done what these fives have asked us to do. And then the lovers. All right. So that's what I'm looking at. Five of Cups. It makes sense. Look at this. Justice. Well, there's your card. Your major arcana. Justice. Five of Cups. Another five. Five of Cups talks about where your focus is at. Or someone's focus. And in this energy, my focus is on what I have lost. I'm not thinking about what is yet to be gained. Listen, it's very clear to me that there's two people, and I mean more than two people, but that there's something went wrong in love. And I do feel like ego was part of it, but I kind of feel it's natural at the same time. Now, doesn't mean that, if we stay in our ego that we're going to have success, because chances are we won't. So I do feel like there was cutting of ties between these two lovers. Interesting, because I feel like February or January is all about your money, and it feels like February is all about your love. So I do feel like ties were cut. But listen, just because we cut ties doesn't mean we can't accept someone back into our life again. We're cutting ties to that energy. to the way it was, right? It just, for some reason, just didn't work. But I have to tell you, above all, I feel the love. Even through the heaviness, I feel the love. Definitely a soulmate. Again, if not a twin. And I'm saying that because in the Five of Cups, when this person does change their focus, you got to be careful in the Five of Cups. You don't want to move into the energy as woe is me, only because it won't serve you. Doesn't mean you don't deserve it. I mean, I feel like there's many times in our lives where, like, we need to take a moment and be like, oh, woe is me, but then not stay in that energy. Because when this person makes that change, there's two cups behind them. So that definitely lets me know that this is definitely soulmate, if not twin flame energy. But doesn't guarantee us anything, right? Didn't guarantee this couple. Justice is about becoming whole again. And it may talk about this love becoming whole again. Justice is what's fair and just in the world, in your life. The hangman, interesting. And the hermit, I feel like, wow. Okay, I get this like right off the bat because I feel like without the reflection first, what would change? So, another way of saying that is these fives that definitely ask for change, and then the eight of swords. First of all, an eight. I don't want to bring this into my next chapter. Why? Listen, maybe I don't want love. And that's fine. That's your choice, right? But still, you don't want to block opportunity. You don't want to block what may be in your life. And that's what the Eight of Swords is doing. It's like I'm trying to separate me from that. And instead, when you think about your last spread, the Empress was your last card. Well, she stays loving and nurturing, but in the same breath, she trusts her own energy as a measure of is something good or bad for me. She doesn't need these self-created. Listen, she's created them. Don't get me wrong, but she's learned that. She's learned from that. Like it doesn't serve me anyway. So I feel like the reflection. Interesting. There's me, my son, my daughter, right there. Um, but you're missing this person, and they're missing you, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I feel like also, and I hope you understand me when I say this, because I feel like our first time around, maybe this was another lifetime. I feel like it was more about the earthly being part of us and not really our spirituality, right? Neither one of us was thinking about spirituality or spirit or maybe even faith. You're just living your life. This time, I feel like, because I feel like you're different. And if it's not different, then nothing will change. But this time, I do feel like it's different. Because now I do feel like, our spirituality, our faith is alive. Oh, it reminds me of Gary Wright. I can't think of the song right this second, but there's one of my favorite artists. I can't think of the song. Anyway, let's keep going. And some of you, I just want to say, it could, I feel like there's another story here also because I feel like for some of you, it could be you connected to like um a relationship that maybe you don't want to be in, and maybe justice for that is speaking about divorce, right? Like the cutting of ties, but cutting for good. Now listen, I know I just threw another thing at you, but I feel like if that's you, um, I feel like you clearly know that you no longer want to be with someone. Like it's very, very clear. And listen, maybe this lover over here is like, like, not until you're divorced, not until you're single. Whether they're saying it to you or you're saying it to someone else. Now I feel like that's just another story. But let's keep going. Oh, all of a sudden I'm started clarifying everything. The tower. Eight of Swords right below it. I feel like there was an old partner who was a heavy drinker, and I feel like you put up with it, or it could even be you. Maybe this person, maybe you've overcome it. Um, but I feel like that was a big element within a relationship, and not in a positive way. Hello, Ten of Pentacles. Look at that. So, transformation, right? One door closes, another door opens. What door opens? The Ten of Pentacles, the House of Abundance. What's right below it? Material and spiritual prosperity. I feel like these lovers, the only thing they forgot about was their spirituality. I feel like these lovers, the love is there. The love didn't die. Doesn't mean they didn't go on and be with other people. But I feel like ultimately now, it's like, I don't know, I just feel like you're living a different type of life. And therefore, it just feels right. All right. I'm also keep going. I mean, I love the Hermit being married by the Ten of Pentacles. So, we have spiritual prosperity down here. Certainly taking the wisdom that you've learned through your dark night of the souls again and using it to your benefit. And I say to your benefit, but I feel like it's to help others, right? Because now you carry the light. You carry the light. You carry the beacon. And it ultimately can create the Ten of Pentacles for you. I don't feel like I go right into the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like it's the journey, it's part of the journey. So I like this a lot because this is the house of abundance. This is a house that can truly take root. It can certainly be family money, that type of thing, family business. But I feel more it's about creating it. Like this is what I'm creating. Like I don't feel like I have it yet, but I am creating it. Maybe I'm at the six, almost at the 10. Whoa. Hello, star. Now there's your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And by the way, it's being mirrored by the Hierophant. And it's being mirrored also by the Five of Cups over the Hierophant. Coming over firm foundation. So not only is it saying that your dreams, your hopes can come true, but it's giving you a hint of how you can make it everlasting. Think about the foundation. first and foremost. With a rocky foundation, it makes sense that the Eight of Swords would then be there. But the Star is about your dreams and bringing them into your life. Also, card of Aquarius, by the way. There's so many people on the board. Like, really. There's so many people. Like, we have Taurus, we have Libra, we have Gemini, we have Virgo, we have Leo, we have Scorpio, we have Aquarius, and I'm probably missing some just in this spread. All right, so we got the Star. Ten of Wands, look at that, and it flipped itself around. Now, I really wasn't into reading reversals, but it literally flipped itself around, so I am going to keep it that way. And I like seeing that because, excuse me, the Ten of Wands means there's a period of time in your life. If you think of 10, I think of like a chapter, like a whole chapter, a whole cycle. And it can talk about a period of time of heavy responsibilities. I also feel like what it's saying is, you know, if you're someone who tends, like maybe you tended to put the responsibility of a relationship on your shoulders, and it didn't seem fair, right? It didn't seem like an equal type of energy. So you had to learn that. It's interesting because I always feel a couple different things with that energy. Like, why do I want to carry the brunt of the responsibility? Well, sometimes I got to look at myself because am I someone who doesn't like to give up control? Am I someone who I want it my way when it needs to be our way? Now, I'm not saying that has to be you, but I feel like that's also part of it. I feel also for someone there is, this person or this love coming back around because I feel like someone really has overcome something that was debilitating in their life. Maybe that has to do with health. Now, I don't mean like, and I don't mean like a health condition. I mean more like a temptation type energy. But I also feel the energy of overcoming it at the same time. And, that alone can bring all kinds of epiphanies to you. Okay, so Zeta Solar is just saying, like, I don't want to be the one who carries all the responsibility. I don't see you doing that moving forward. I don't see the need for that. Because again, I feel like this is about if these people set themselves free from these prisons, and if they have looked, because listen, first and foremost, this is talking about the missing of each other. And I don't know how long it's been. It could have even been a different lifetime. But that missing is there. And it's also telling us that there are treasured memories here. Right. So even though there are obstacles and challenges, there are also very happy memories, very loving memories. All right. One more. Just to equal it out now. One more. Coming over material and spiritual prosperity. Also feel like, if this has anything to do with the business, learning how to delegate, like don't take like I gotta learn how to delegate. I can't do it all. I can try to do it all. Like it reminds me of the Queen of Pentacles where she thinks she can do it all, but can I do it all and do it all at 100%? Or am I better off learning to delegate some of it? Okay. I feel like that was a small message for someone. Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is your seed, is your, I feel like it's your tree of life. Seven of Pentacles has a couple different messages with it. Its first message is patience, allowing things to come to full fruition. You know, it's mirrored up here by the Hangman. Hangman is a pause in the action, but it's only because someone is seeking wisdom on their next steps. And maybe it's both these lovers. Seven of Pentacles, I feel like it's meant to be. Like this seed has already been planted. And it's coming, you know, it's like yeah, like I use the analogy of like an apple tree. You know, like I love apples and I don't want to pick that apple from the tree until it's ripe. Otherwise, it's just bitter. And I wasted my time. And I ruined an apple. Some of these seeds were planted before you came into this lifetime. And some of these seeds you're planting right now. Remember that. We're always planting seeds. If we're not planting seeds, then we're not going to have a harvest. Over material and spiritual prosperity. So, I knew right from the beginning that whoever these lovers were, that they were soulmates and or twin, excuse me, twin flames. I felt it. I felt the energy right off the bat. I didn't want the proof behind it, but I felt it right away. It doesn't feel like a karmic at all. Now, some of you may have dealt with a karmic, and listen, or you dealt with like someone who was like a narcissist, that type of energy. Don't allow them to ruin the rest of your life, because I feel like if you dealt with that type of energy, I do feel like you've left it or you are leaving it. Do not allow them and their words and what things that they've told you to affect your future or your present, because it's just all bullshit. It was all about them. I do not feel it's this person up here, because I feel like the love wouldn't allow them to talk. Even though I do feel like there was nasty, like, like passionate fighting, I still don't feel like it was them. So just don't allow anyone who's got narcissistic tendencies to take up space in your head or your heart. Just in these changes. I mean, wow. Okay, let's keep going. So that was February, so to speak. I say so to speak because I like to try to keep reminding you that time is fluid. Let's say we start clearing energy and getting ready for 2080 or 2084, 2024. Holy crap, I just put a lot of years on there. Um, Nothing says that we can't begin early. All right. Last but not least, March, springtime. Trees are starting to get their leaves again. Flowers are starting to grow again. Right? It's like after that cold winter, we come into the spring's energy. Look at that. Your major arcana right off the bat. Justice. I feel like many of you find yourselves already helping others. Like I feel like you would be great at what's the word? Like a mediator, like helping people to see, like I can sit there and actively listen and then come to my conclusion and help. Hmm. I feel like that's natural for you. I don't know why I keep moving these decks around. Hello, marriage card. Wow. Commitment. Look at this. It's interesting? If we go back to January, I felt that you were walking down the path of the wands. That's good. That's a passionate type of energy. And then the palace of wands. I feel like the palace is where we ultimately want to end up. I feel like you do end up there. Look at that. So I do feel like you are now, it's interesting how February came out and then March right off the bat. It's showing a commitment. Four of Pentacles. Hello, Ace of Cups. Under the marriage card. Will you be mine? Will you be mine? Not just for today, but forever. This is unconditional love. Eight of Pentacles. Eight, first of all. Eight of Pentacles talks about what you put your focus on is what you're going to grow. So if anybody's got the question of like, can I have a successful relationship here? It's saying if you focus upon it, it'll grow. Some of you, I feel like you're working from home and I feel like you are loving what you do. I feel like you're definitely creating something, maybe from your own hands. This feels like a very good year for you, Libra. Look at this, the Ten of Pentacles again, directly connected to you. So if you had any doubt that you could live in the house of abundance, it's showing you over and over that you can. There's that Ace of Swords that started us out in January. Here it is. Interesting how a lot of the energy from January is now moving into March. Truth, integrity, honesty. Two aces. Ace of Cups. Unconditional love. Even if we've been through hell, can we overcome it? The answer is yes. But you have to make that decision. Come from a place of truth and honesty. Wow. Ten of Wands. Interesting, right? Like, what are you doing here? Ten of Wands mirroring the Ten of Cups, though. Listen, if this has anything to do about communication, talking about a relationship, I feel like someone is just being honest, right? Like, I know what I don't want and I know what I do want, that type of thing. But honestly, I feel like this is you, like you creating. And I feel like for not everyone, but I do feel that energy of working from home, but it could be like maybe you have an office that just feels like, like that's like where I feel good at. That's what I feel like creating from a place that just feels good. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Ace of Wands again. You know, it's like two opportunities opening up for you. And we're only looking at winter. Seven of Wands underneath that, standing your ground. Ace of Wands. You know, Libra, I feel like for some of you, this may be a month where you're proposing or someone's proposing to you. This may be a month where you're actually getting married. This is a month where I feel like you're taking everything that we've been talking about and all that you have learned, and you are bringing it to the table now. Like, this is it. This is it. Not only is this it, but this is what I do. This is what I will be doing. And I also feel for some of you, you won't be doing it alone. All right. Let's what do I want to look at? I mean, there's not much I want to look at, to be honest. I think I want to come down and look at the Ten of Wands. It's the only heavy card within this spread. The Magician, the Knight of Swords, and then look at this, successful self-employment. Hello. Not only is it successful self-employment, first of all, there's the eight, right? The Eight of Pentacles really says be willing to go into something new as the apprentice, knowing that you'll learn as you go. I feel like the person in the Eight of Pentacles, as it relates to money or your career, I feel like, you know, I feel like if I focus on it, well, it's showing the success like pretty quickly. Remember, we do have the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, the Eight, the Nine, the Ten. Interesting. So we have the Magician first, kind of touching that Ace of Swords, right? So I feel like, you know, it's just being truthful, but it's also manifesting. I feel like just the right opportunities will show themselves for you. I feel like for some of you, this Ten of Wands is talking about the effort that you have put in to growing a business. And I feel like this is really the period of time. It's funny because this is a month about planting seeds, but I feel like this is a month where you're going to start seeing the fruits of your labor financially. Now, this isn't just about your finances, though. I also feel like this is the month where you're ultimately making that final commitment to someone. Doesn't have to be marriage, but it's definitely living together. It's committed. Like, you know, like we're committing for the rest of our lives. It doesn't guarantee us anything, but because we've learned so much, I feel like, listen, the Palace of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the willingness to put the effort in, the unconditional love that just is. I mean, three aces, Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands. You know, we could ask for the Ace of Pentacles, but really we already had it. And I'm saying that because everywhere in every spread, like your finances only look like they're growing, right? The eight, the beginning, the nine, your business, your independence, your success. And then the 10, this may be where I feel like two people working together. Now, it doesn't have to be that, but it certainly feels like two people who are on similar vibrations. No doubt there. No doubt there. I don't know, Libra. I just feel like, wow. And I think I'm going to leave it there. I feel like, why would I clarify anything else? Everything else just seems so, like, clear to me. Success. You know, uh, get comfortable with success. Get comfortable with success. That is really speaking to you. All right, I'm going to pick these up, and I'm not going to read all the Mother Mary cards. Um, However, see what we have here. Um, I feel like everything really makes sense, but I feel like I want to read Watched Over because many of you know, yes, I read through tarot, but I also read through my guides. I use the cards more as tools than anything. Okay, Watched Over. Excuse me. This card brings a message of reassurance of your safety and asks you to drop any defenses or guards that may currently be preventing you from enjoying your life. Excuse me, but that is the Eight of Swords. Um, by relaxing into God's protective arms, you reduce your stress levels in healthful ways. God, Jesus, Mother Mary, and the angels have heard and answered your prayers for protection. You receive their answers via your repetitive feelings and thoughts, which guide you along the pathway of safety. Keep your mind sober and open so that you can clearly pick up on these divine messages and be sure to take action where they direct you. So, if nothing else, I feel like you can relax, and because I feel like the more you're able to relax, the more you'll receive this guidance. You know, I feel like your guides are like, we want you to have the very best, and we're going to help to guide you there. But you do have free will, and everyone has to respect that. So, Libra, wow. Um, I want to thank you guys as always. I do want to thank you for a great 2023. Thank you for being part of my channel, part of my life. I feel like we're all soul family, to be honest, anyway, even those that are new. I feel like you just found your home. That's all. I want to thank you for just supporting my channel through, well, up until 2023, moving forward. Thank you for your donations. Your donations this month are going to go to my daughter. She's a single mom, and I just want to help her out with Christmas. And yeah, so just know that. Also, I want to let you know that I do have that. Well, it was over. I was doing a holiday special, excuse me, where you can buy one reading, get one reading free. You can give that second reading away as a gift for Christmas. I feel like that'd be an awesome gift. Or you can keep it yourself. The only stipulation I asked is that, if you keep both readings, to use the second reading 4 months or later after the first one. There's no expiration date. Now, if you feel like you need it before that, then I will certainly try. Um, But you also have to remember that I also have quite a few people that I read for personally. Um, so I try to keep that going and everything. So anyway, I've decided to extend that. I keep saying for a couple more days, but I'm extending it because people have asked me about it. People whose reading, as I haven't done yet, didn't get the notification. So because I have extended it for a few people, I am going to extend it again to everyone. But it can only be for a couple more days. Today is Saturday, so definitely by the end of next week it'll be over. And then when I do end it, I've got to end it. So that's available for you, by the way. And all the information is below. For anything. I have a membership program where we go live, where I answer all your questions. I try not to even put a time limit on it. We're on there for at least a couple hours, if not longer. That information is also below. So anything you need to know, it's below under the more detailed section. Other than that, I want to thank you, Libra. I love you guys. I truly hope this is the best year of your life. I hope it's the beginning of one of the best years of your life. It certainly looks good. I mean, it certainly looks good. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye bye.